Hey everybody, I'm putting up a video. I'm putting it on YouTube. Here is how to play Bridget in a Guilty Gear Strive. Notably, somebody out there wants a tutorial on this character, and I'm just not good with her. She's not a main. But I lose to her all the damn fucking time. What's this color? Oh, whoa. It's an interesting color scheme. Okay, 12, I like that color scheme for characters in general. And let's go with Potemkin. He's a good punching bag because he's big. Alright. Color 12 looks good on everybody. So here we go. You have to pay $20 for it, but it looks good on everybody. Alright. Here's how to play the most maddeningly annoying character in the game. Also, let's go to display capture. Let's make this a lot smaller here. How do I have this? Let's hide this. Alright. God damn it, it's been almost a year since I've streamed. Alright, here we go. Adjust our box here. Yay. Here we go. There we are. Kinda, sorta, normal. Something, something. I did not adjust this. Okay. Bridget and how to play her. Actually, I can't see my character now, so let's also turn off my webcam. Just get rid of that whole overlay there. Alright. With Bridget, you toss out a projectile. That's the best way to that's the first thing that you should do. The Bridget flowchart relies upon throwing out your projectile in neutral. 99% of the time, if you are not blocking an attack, or you are not actively attacking, you're going to be in neutral, and that means toss out a projectile. It does damage, but you also follow up with it. Now, you can follow up with this. Quarter circle back A while it's out. You will fly towards your projectile. And sometimes where your projectile just was. Okay, so here's how you do this. Bridget does not have a standing overhead. That's not an overhead. This kind of looks like an overhead, but it is not an overhead. It's not a true overhead. When you toss this out, and you're standing around this close, you have more options to follow up with. If you're standing this close, then yeah, you're probably going to do that. Bridget will likely do that. And if you're blocking Bridget, you are likely going to be, well, of course you're going to be blocking Bridget. Either that or you're going to be jumping. You're going to be doing one of those two things. If you see her toss that out, you're probably going to block. So let's move a little bit closer. Say mid-range. Toss your projectile out. You're going to want to jump to mix people up. Or again at mid-range, you're going to want to do a low attack. Quarter circle forward A does your low attack. Quarter circle forward A and then X is also how you mix them up to, or quarter circle forward A and then A again. Yeah. Quarter circle forward A and then you hit A again. Boom. Because if they might be doing a crouching block, boom, that's how you hit them. You can hit low, or you can hit high. Or you toss it out and just jump. See? Quarter circle back A, but see what happens if you're this close? You do quarter circle back A. There's a lot of startup. You're going to get jabbed out of that. Typically, you're going to get jabbed out of it with your anti-air jab. This is Bridget's anti-air jab, but she also has a better anti-air here. Now, let's say you toss this out at around this range here, where you're at mid-range. You anti-air with that. Why? Because at this range, your opponent is likely to jump at you. If they aren't going to jump at you, they're going to dash forward. They're going to block your attack, and they're going to dash forward. Now, let's say you toss your projectile out, and you can't mix them up because they know your attacks well enough that they'll alternate between crouching block and standing block. And they know exactly when to stand up to block your attack. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? So here's what you do is you dash forward and you throw them. Half circle back X. Boom. Now, what do you do when you have your opponent in a corner like this? Your opponent was in the corner in the beginning. And I know I said neutral, I apologize for that, but in general, in neutral, you're going to throw that projectile out. If your opponent is in the corner, where I can't push Potemkin any further, you do an anti-air projectile. You toss this in the air. It still hits Potemkin because he's massive, but you see he's taking damage. But a lot of characters out there will not get hit by this. The reason you do it is so that you can dash forward. You do this. Oh, no, that's mid projectile. That was scrappy, but here we go. Dash forward. Alright. And you combo. You just do normals. And see if you can do that and blow them through the wall. Alright. Ah. See, you just combo there. You use this here so that they can't jump. If they have a projectile above their head, they're not going to jump. Why? Because you're going to do that. You're going to toss that out and you're going to do that if they try to jump. If you see them try to jump to get out, you do that. That locks them down. If they try to dash forward instead of block, because ideally you're going to mix them up. You're going to do that. Whee! Ideally you're going to do that. Yeah, Bridget has a normal throw, but most of the time if you're going to throw, you're going to be doing that command grab there. If they start blocking you, do that. That's how you play Bridget. That's the flowchart. And then, yeah, you also have this attack for when they're relatively close to you. If you've got them in the corner and you have a projectile above them, then yeah, of course you're going to do that. Boom. But since you have some startup frames there, a better way to do it would be... Ah, messed up. You combo into it through 2 standing Y attacks. And if you think they're gonna, if they start blocking your standing Y attacks, then you follow up with a kick. The low kick to make them block low, and then you try to get the standing Y attack in. And if you have meter, what you do is you have this fun projectile here. For the record, that projectile tracks, so it will also hit enemies in the air. So if somebody's trying to jump at you and you have meter, you still do that, so this will still hit them in the air. That's your Bridget flowchart. And how to play this character, who everybody loves playing, is one of the more popular characters in the game, but everybody hates fighting against. It's she's Happy Chaos for noobs. Happy Chaos is obnoxious with all its hit scan, full screen hit scan attacks. Bridget, on the other hand, is obnoxious with projectiles, but she's a lot easier to learn. Alright, that is how you play Bridget.